slogan.
Go. Hi everybody, we are, this is C0BRA129 live here at St. Philip's College, here at the Collegiate 100, one of the many student organizations here at St. Philip's. Tell me a little bit about the organization and what is actually going on here today.
Sure. A brief introduction for who we are as Collegiate 100. Our saying is we are real students giving real time, and this is a reflection or an echo from our parent organization, 100 Black Men of San Antonio. So today we have members who are interested in joining our organization, and we're going to be introducing them later and preparing them for pinning. We are an organization who thrives on community engagement, community involvement. Today we're going to be signing ourselves up for our mentoring opportunities and moving forward in our semester of service.
Very great, very great. And then this organization is open to all the students around San Antonio, correct?
Oh yes. If you're a real student and you have real time to give, this organization is open for you.
Awesome. And then the military presence, I'm guessing we're here to celebrate them as well, right?
Yes, the military is going to be giving our keynote on leadership and what it means to be a leader. We are honored to have the United States military here. I believe this is the Army's ROTC 5th BDE branch over here, and they are from Joint Base Fort Sam Houston. And we are fortunate and honored and glad that they are here today to contribute and pour into us what it means to be a leader.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know you got to get set up and ready or whatever. So we'll be seeing you live when the event keeps going on.
Yes, sir.
And we will be giving you live coverage as the event goes on from 12 to 1 today. So please stay tuned, and we'll see you when the event comes in.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to have you here today to join us for the induction ceremony of our spring 2017 class of the Collegiate 100. So if you would, please join us in welcoming those students to the room. At this time, we'll have the Collegiate 100 President, Mr. Damon Lake, come in and greet the audience.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here. I'm Damon Lake, again, I'm the President of the 2016-2017 cohort of Collegiate 100. I'm glad you all are here today. We are Collegiate 100, we are real students giving real time. And as we move forward in our program, we are honored for everyone who chose to come and join us today, and we are more honored to have the United States Army come up beside us, and they're going to be delivering our keynote speech today. So everybody relax, enjoy yourselves, and definitely let's honor the moment of our new inductees or our new prospective inductees coming on board to such an honorable organization. Thank you so much.
And at this time, we would like to ask everyone to rise for the national anthem being presented to you by one of our inductees, Miss Cicely Jones.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
It's my pleasure to have Mr. Lacey Hampton, our Vice President of College Services, to give a greeting on behalf of our college president.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of our president, Dr. William Lawson, and as well as our Vice President of Student Success, Dr. C0BRA129, who's unable to be here, he's on travel, I want to thank you for attending St. Philip's College Collegiate 100 Officer Induction and Pinning Ceremony. So welcome. The Collegiate 100 is a charter student organization here at St. Philip's College. The membership reflects the diversity of our student body. The organization is a service organization that values mentoring, community service, and academic excellence. The students work closely with the San Antonio chapter of 100 Black Men of America, Inc. Through this alliance, they benefit from a global network of 100 Black Men chapters to help prepare them to become successful leaders upon graduation. So personally, I want to congratulate the new inductees, our students that are currently in, the young men and women. I want to personally thank you for, one, wanting to enhance your leadership skills and abilities, and secondly, for representing St. Philip's College. It would take you a long way, so thank you for taking your time out to be a part of such a great organization. I want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Harris for your leadership, as well as Mr. Martin, and other faculty and staff who was involved with this organization in supporting our students here at St. Philip's College. You guys are doing great things, and will go off and do great things. And as Dr. Lawson would always say, don't forget about St. Philip's College. So again, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here to provide this welcome on behalf of the college. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I hope you have a great ceremony. Thank you.
And I guess at this point I should introduce myself. My name is John Martin. I'm the Director of Student Conduct and Title IX here at St. Philip's College, and I serve as one of the advisors to the Collegiate 100 here on campus. At this time, I'd like to have my co-advisors stand up so that they can be recognized for helping support these students in their activities on campus. On campus, and Mr. Paul Leday, who's also one of our academic advisors, who's serving as the interim associate director of student life, and he also serves as a basketball coach here on campus. And so those are the team members who support our students in their efforts. And I'm also a member of the 100 Black Men of San Antonio. At this time, I would like to ask Deaconess Paula Mata-Williams of New Creation Fellowship to come up and give our invitation. And as she comes up, I would also like to recognize that she is also a staff member here at St. Philip's College. She supports our facility services department as an administrative assistant. So we'd like to thank her for being here, and just to show you the level of support that our students have on our campus. And then we have some of our administrators here in the back who anchor our program. We have Dr. Paul Machin, who's the Dean of Student Success. Dr. Machin. Who's one of our administrative assistants to the president. We have Dr. Sharon Crockett-Bray, who is our institutional advancement office. She's helped raise over $1 million to go to students' scholarships. And then we have Ms. Adrienne Jackson from our PR department here, who helps us with marketing and recruitment. And then we have Mr. Jason Fabianchi, one of our staff, one of our faculty members here. And then no event would be complete without Mr. Patrick Evans, who records those events with photos. And we have and we will introduce the members of the 100 during the program. So at this time, as we
let us go in prayer. Father, we thank you for allowing us to see another day that we've never seen before. We ask your presence to come to this place. We thank you for the spirit of excellency that rests on this campus, God. We ask you to continue to bless the candidates for this great organization and the ones that are currently in the organization, that the spirit of excellence rests on them as well. We thank you for everyone that's represented here, every organization, every administrator, every worker. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to have this time, this place that you appointed, and we will remember to give you the glory and the honor. Amen. Amen.
And at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Cheryl Johnson. She's the Chief of Advertising and Public Affairs for the U.S. Army Recruiting Battalion.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of 5th Recruiting Brigade and San Antonio Recruiting Battalion, thank you for inviting us and being partners with the United States Army Recruiting Battalion. So I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of what my role is in the Army. So I am the Chief of Advertising and Public Affairs. So what does that really mean to you, right? So my role is to help promote the Army, to connect with organizations such as the 100 Black Men organization, to help promote our recruiters and connect them with the high schools, with educators, with the community influencers within the surrounding community. So that is, in a nutshell, my role. That's why I have this fine young men with me today to help them connect with this fine young men, the Collegiate chapter of the 100 Black Men and the 100 Black Men chapter of San Antonio. So thank you for allowing us to be part of this awesome event today. So a quick story about myself. I am a United States Army veteran, and because of the United States Army, I was able to fund my college with no student loan. I joined the Army in 1992, did 10 years, because I wanted to go to college. I wasn't ready to go straight to college from high school. So I joined the military as my first resort, not my last resort, because I knew that my way out of where I lived, I was raised by a single mom, is to get my college education. They were poor. They weren't able to pay for my college. I didn't have any money. My grades weren't that great in high school. So I said, you know, I'm going to join the military because I'm going to get my college education. And I did. I did just that. Went into the Army and got my college paid for. Before 10 years was up, I was able to get my master's degree. No student loans paid for. And that's why I stand in front of you today. Because of my role now, I want to connect the Army with the community and help these young men and women really to realize what education is about and what education meant to me. And hopefully we can talk about that today and relate to these young men and women how important education is. So without further ado, I would like to read you a quick bio of our keynote speaker this morning. Captain Jamal D. Murphy hails from Marion, Alabama. He was commissioned through ROTC at the Georgia Institute of Technology in 2009 as a 91 Alpha Ordnance Officer. Captain Murphy's military education includes Ordnance Officer Basic Course, Combined Logistics Captain's Career Course, and the Recruiting Company Commander's Course. He has earned a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Health Science from Kennesaw State University, and he's pursuing a Master of Arts in Transportation and Logistics from the American Military Institute. Captain Murphy is married to the former Lolita Doster Murphy of Warner Robins, Georgia. They have two beautiful daughters, Evelyn, who's 4 years old, and Olivia, who's 4 months old. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Captain Jamal Murphy.
Out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my uncomfortable soul. In a fell clutch of circumstance, I have not witnessed nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chains, my head is bloody, but I'm bowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horrors of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That's Invictus by Mr. William Ernest Henry. The reason why I decided to begin with that, and as you can see, I bought this expensive iPad up here and had a speech prepared, but if you don't mind, I'm going to speak from my heart. Is that okay?
That's great.
The reason why I chose to give that poem as my initial introduction to you for myself is due to the fact that we all come from different walks of life. We all come from or are cut from different cloths. I mean, what else is there to say? So when I say I'm the master of my fate, I'm the captain of my soul, it's nothing but between me and the God that I choose to serve that's going to help me get there. And sometimes that's all we have. As Ms. Johnson previously gave her, I guess, a bit of her story in terms of why she joined the military, it's somewhat similar to why I joined. Okay, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Do you understand that? Who doesn't understand? I didn't necessarily have the parents or the family background that said, here's all the money you can have to go to St. Philip's College. In this case, my initial introduction to college is when I graduated high school from Stanton College Preparatory School out of Jacksonville, Florida. I had all kinds of scholarships to go to Tuskegee University. Majored in aeronautical engineering, math, and mechanical engineering. The only difference between all three degrees was 4 classes. But I didn't have the maturity level. I wasn't ready. The organization I'm a part of now, I tried to join in, it just didn't work out for me. I wasn't ready. It was a grown-up world at Tuskegee anyway. That's from my background. So what happened next? My dad, when he finally, and even with all the scholarships, they still had to come out of their pocket $5,500 per semester. And so my father, he finally had enough. He cut that umbilical cord. He cut my lifeline. But I knew I had to get a degree, not for anybody else, but for myself. I finally made enough money to leave Tuskegee because I ended up being homeless. I had enough money to I had a job where I could either live in an apartment or continue to go to school. So in the back seat of my car, the car's probably still there because it never worked. It never worked because I couldn't put gas. So it probably is, I don't know. So I made enough money to get a hoopty, to get what I needed to get 4 more wheels to get back home. Because Dad said, look, I got you a job at the Pepsi distribution plant in Atlanta. So on my way home, when somebody is desperate, as I was, you see how tiller, you see how big I am, right? I'm a pretty tall guy, but I dropped down to 145 pounds. I was hungry. I had nothing to eat. When the back seat is your living room, the front seat is your kitchen and everything else. When you had to sneak in after the football team to take a shower, you have friends, but you can only take a shower when they were at their apartment. Tuskegee is just like, as I'm sure, well, not sure, but I just recently found out how prestigious this organization or this institution is. Okay, but when you left in that situation, you become desperate. I wanted 3 hots and a cot, as we say in the military. 3 hot meals and somewhere to lay my head. There's only 1 or 2 ways that you're going to get it. You know what those are, right? Jail, or you sign up for the military service. So I pulled up into a Armed Forces Recruiting Center. I back then had no idea what I was backing into. I knew it was an Armed Forces Recruiting Center. And across the street, there's this gas station, this young man. But they gave me 30 minutes to talk, so I'm going to use 25 of them anyway. There's this young man who pulled up with this nice, I call him Bubble Box Capri, classic car with 24-inch rims. You know, I'm not going to ask how he got the money to put all that on the car, but a little bitty dude, so as big as I was, I don't think I could take him. Well, I did, because and the reason why I said that is because he had a wad of money. He was one of those types of individuals that was very flashy. He pulled out this wad of money at the counter, paying $20 worth of gas. But when you're desperate in this situation that I was in, what are you thinking? One of those two options. So after 2 hours of sitting in front of this recruiting center, this recruiter walks out of I'm a little suspicious. Why is this guy sitting out here? He knocks on the window. He says, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm all right. I'm just sitting here. I'm just chilling." And then he says, "Okay." He went in recruit mode. You ever thought about joining the Army? Not at all. It was the last thing on my mind until he said that. And then I had to think about that second option. So he said, "Well, if you ever think about it, here's what I can give you." I said, "That sounds pretty appetizing, because all of us are in here getting a degree so we can hopefully one day get a job, right? For those of us who are students here, right?" So I said, "That seems pretty appetizing." I said, "Well, here's all my paperwork. I just left Tuskegee. I pretty much had to drop out." And what You can ask these two gentlemen right here, what is a recruiter's dream? For somebody to have all of their paperwork, right? So I said, here's my paperwork. So I had it in the folder, I had to go to the registrar's office. I got all of it. The light bulb went off. I'm looking at UP Newton. He looks just like UP Newton. But Google, you'll find it. But needless to say, I gave him all my paperwork. And he said, can you be here at 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning? So I showed up at 8:30. And the reason why I showed up at 8:30 is that I parked the car around back. That's where I slept. So as soon as I told him that, he started to draw tears himself because he was once in my shoes. Needless to say, I joined the reserves. And the reason why I'm speaking about the reserves is because that was virtually the only way I could pay for college. That was it. A lot of us are, well, why is he talking about recruiting in the reserves? Well, let me just give you my Army story real quick, or in addition to. The reserve, what do? They pay for my 100% of my tuition, no loans. How many of us could say that as minorities? How many of us could say that we're living a life to where we don't owe anybody anything other than our car payment, or you gotta buy your PlayStation game if that's what you do, so on and so forth. How many of us can say that? No loans whatsoever. And I'm working on 3 degrees, or 2 additional degrees. A Master of Business Administration and a Master of Science and Leadership on top of the Master of Transportation and Logistics. Ask me who's paying for it, not me. Well, I kind of am because I got to be in the Army. But essentially, that's who paid for school. So is it an opportunity? Yes, it is. Is it a worthwhile opportunity? I'm standing here as living proof. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. And you can ask some of these gentlemen in the room. I talked to the president, or the past president, who both have served, and I appreciate, I applaud you, gentlemen. I really. In the back here, the cameraman, I applaud every single individual in here that has previously served. Thank you. I really thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my 2 uncles who served as Tuskegee Airmen for the 99th Fighter Squadron. Okay, I really do, because without them being able to pave the way and show me that through adversity, with diversity, going through what they went through at the time that they were going through. A lot of us in this room may think that we're still going through it just at a different time, and that's okay, but what are you going to do about it? 3/4 of everybody who graduates from St. Philip's College, what are they going to do once they walk across the stage if that's what you do here and get your degree? Are you going to wait for a job? Or do you already have something in mind? Do you have a plan? Here's an option. And that's all it is an option. It may not be the way, but it is a way. But here's an option, 6 figures a year. I'm only a captain. Your president, as far as the 100 Black Men San Antonio chapter, he retired as a lieutenant colonel. If he wants to tell you, he will, but I'm only a captain. But here's the thing you got to think about. What degree are you majoring in? Biology. You want to be a doctor, I'm assuming, pre-med or something like that? Or biologist, who knows, right? So you're going to have to pay school loans back. I don't mean to call you out, I'm just using that as an example. You're going to have to pay school loans back, right? But once you get that doctorate degree or MD degree, whatever the case may be, you got to pay those pre-med or medical school loans back. You got to pay for health insurance. If you got a car, you got to pay that. If you got a house, you got to pay that mortgage, or even if you're renting, so on and so forth. Now, I haven't even got the kids. I don't know kids in the future, but if they are, you got to put food in their mouth, right? So I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. But why am I saying that? Do I have to worry about it? No, I don't. I'm not worrying about taking care of my family. As she said, I got 2 beautiful daughters. And a bunch of ammunition, so don't try. But honestly, I got 2 beautiful daughters and my rock at the house right now. My #1 support. Okay? So in terms of talking about the benefits that the Army can give you, I'm pretty sure you can continue to talk to us, but more importantly, what does that do for me? What did that do for me? I was desperate in a desperate situation, but the one key thing that I learned was leadership. I would not be here today without the leadership that I learned from the NCOs and officers that have come before me, that taught me while I joined the Army. The prior military men that are sitting amongst you now, if it wasn't that type of leadership, if it wasn't that type of discipline. Because it takes a lot more than just getting a degree here at St. Philip's. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm living. You heard it from a third party. Mom and them might have told you before you got here. Your faculty and staff here are telling you now. So somebody else who's outside the military, I've lived it, these two gentlemen lived it, Ms. Johnson lived it. We're not lying to you. And is it gonna get better? I don't know. But how do you define your life and what you're about? There are many of us, and yes, it is Black History Month, so again, I'm gonna talk about just a couple of things, and then I'm gonna turn it over to one of my assistants here. Excuse me, I'm gonna call them co-workers, because we do the same thing on Team One, right? Martin Luther King, I mean, I'm not gonna, let's talk about somebody else. I mean, you hear enough about it, right? It's time to live what he talked about. There was an individual, I'm not gonna tell you who it is, you're in college, so look him up, who initially made it possible for internet to have the traveling capability from one computer to the next. He looked like me, he was a minority. I went to Tuskegee for 3 years, so what was one of the first things that they taught me? George Washington Carver created 300, not 100, over 300 items from the people. Some of the items that we use today. I mean, not just George Washington Carver, the doorknobs or the door stop, the door itself. Some of the things that you use on a daily basis, but you don't even know who created it. So is it important for you to remember where you as a people come from? I think so. But it's also important for me to teach my two youngest daughters, well, only two daughters. It's also important for me to teach them who's going to lead them next. Biology, I'm looking at history right here in the making. What's your major? Kinesiology. Kinesiology. So exercise and health science, I went that route. I'm looking at somebody who's going to help us take care of our bodies. But if we don't take care of our bodies, why? Why even try? What's your major? Education and singing, beautiful song about it. So education. This world will be in a world of hurt if it wasn't for teachers. My mom was a teacher, underpaid. Every single last educator, I applaud you. Matter of fact, I really do. If it wasn't for Ms. Jenkins in my math class and if it wasn't for Ms. Jenkins for my calculus math class in my college prep school that I went to, who taught me how to apply math. I know what a cosecant curve is, a cotangent, so on and so forth. I know how to use those tools. I wasn't just sitting in the class for no reason. Okay, learn how to learn your craft and use your craft. What's your major? Education. What's yours?
Automotive technology.
I'm looking at history, am I not? I mean, am I not? I'm looking at history in the room here. I'm pretty sure there's many other people in this room that have various degrees or get various, that have various degrees or obtaining various degrees. But what does that take? It takes us as a people. You notice I haven't said not one type of people. Take it for what you want. But it takes us as a people to come together. Me and the president just talked earlier, or the past president anyway. There are many organizations in and throughout San Antonio. What are you going to do with that? You're joining 100 Black men, right, of San Antonio chapter. But what are you going to do with it? I do happen to be a member of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. That's why I did the victors as well as I did. However, but what does that mean to you? This is one thing that I told them. I wasn't interested in counterfeit allegiance. You know what I mean by that? I wasn't interested in putting some letters on my chest just to say I was a member of that organization. I wasn't interested in just signing up to be in the military, raising my right hand, swearing to protect and defend the Constitution, the entire Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. They said I'm taking too long. But honestly, I wasn't interested in doing that. I wanted to do some work. Why? Because somebody did it for me. Somebody reach one, teach one. Somebody rose to the level of completing college and having all these prestigious jobs. So it's time to teach me. So why wouldn't I do that for somebody else? And I will charge you to do the same thing. So Sarlo, do you mind coming over here and telling them how we can apply leadership to what they're going through in college.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can we give Captain Murphy my
That's it for me. So, Sarlo, if you haven't, I'm gonna let you continue to you pause. Sarlo is when I'm telling you, he's an advocate for our community here in San Antonio, really any community that he touches, he is. If you don't know who he is, I'm gonna say shame on you, honestly, because when I'm telling you he's out there, he's about his business, he's about standing up for his people, our people. Again, you notice how I didn't say what type of people. That is for you to decide. But this individual right here, if you have any questions on how to get involved within the community, one, you got a whole table at the table. Okay. But two, you also have this individual as well as myself, so long as I'm still here until I PCS, which means I'm leaving here. But regardless, you know, I'm on Facebook, I don't do Snapchat or tweet with it, Twitter. I don't tweet. But seriously, I'm really about, first and foremost, I don't mean to impose, but I'm about my father's business. I really am. So my way of evangelizing, if you will, is preaching one, teaching one. I'm not saying I'm higher than the now or whatever the case may be, but I'm not in the hood anymore. I'm not a part of organizations who used to have one favorite color. I'm not. But I am part of a great organization, which is the United States Army. As we increase, and if you don't mind telling them more about this, we are increasing our numbers. If you've been around for more than a day, they do it, with each presidency, shall I say. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but they draw down the numbers, but then they increase the numbers. But while they're increasing these numbers, with these student loans y'all thinking about right now, why not take advantage of it? Or at least strongly consider it as an option. So I talked about the reserves that I was a part of. He is a reservist himself, just an AGR guy, so active duty reservist. So without further ado, Sarlo.
Thank you, sir. 3 minutes, and I'm going to sit down. The Army defines leadership as influencing people through purpose, direction, and motivation while accomplishing the mission as well as improving the organization. I repeat again, the Army defines leadership as influencing people through purpose, direction, and motivation while accomplishing the mission and improving the organization. Now, I stand on the shoulders of giants. And when I say giants, I am talking about giants like men like Frederick Douglass, who was the first recruiter for the United States Army. Just like Captain Murphy said, you don't believe me? Google it. Google is a powerful thing. But Frederick Douglass, came at one of the most pivotal times in American history. Our country was divided. What was it divided on? Whether or not you or I could be considered not only human, but free humans. And so, at that time, the country went to war over our humanity and our blackness. When Frederick Douglass was called into a meeting with the then President Abraham Lincoln, they had a discussion about black men serving in the U.S. Army. Frederick Douglass, once he got the okay to set up and stand up the United States colored troops, he started with his own family, his 2 sons. He got them to enlist in the United States Army. Why do I tell you that? Because leadership is this, the ability to influence others by providing purpose, direction, and motivation. So what would be the purpose of a black man to serve in an army to fight? What were they fighting for? They were fighting for freedom. I, 2017, am a sergeant first class in the United States Army, and I'm unapologetically a freedom fighter. Just like Frederick Douglass and his sons, Louis and Charles. Frederick Douglass, upon taking orders from the president, because he is the commander-in-chief, he said this: let the black man get the gold brass, or rather the brass letters US on his shoulders. Along with the brass US, let him get the eagle on his button. Give him a musket to carry on his shoulders and give him bullets in his pocket. Once you do that, no power, he said no power, could ever deny him the right to citizenship. So from 1863 to 2017, the Army has stood the test of time. We are older than the Constitution of the United States. June 14, 1775. But 1863 was where black men got the opportunity to serve, fight, and die for the right of freedom. Now, my commander so eloquently put it, the Army is just an opportunity as well as an option. What is an opportunity? It's your chance. An option, it's your choice. And so whether or not this opportunity is for you, or the choice is for you, the option is for you, what I do know is we are here to stand with you, the Collegiate 100 black men and women, to say that we believe in mentoring. We believe in education. We believe in economic empowerment. And we also believe in health and wellness. So as you are about to be inducted into this prestigious organization, what is leadership? Leadership is defined as influencing people, influencing your community, influencing your family by providing purpose, direction, and motivation to achieve the mission. What is the mission? Whatever you say it is. Our mission is protecting freedom. I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and I live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasking drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I'm an expert and I'm a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I'm a guardian of freedom, and I'm an American way of life. I am an American soldier.
Does anybody have any questions? And one thing we did forget to mention, there's absolutely no job in the military that excludes women. I will say that much. So anything that a man can do, you can do, so long as you can do the same thing that a man can do in that particular job. So, and I mean, we just want to call it what it is. At one point in time, there might have been some slight discrimination of the sex of that person when they join the military. Whether it been a female, whether it been religion, so on and so forth. So long as you're an American citizen, it really doesn't matter what you are or what you do. Transgender, Islam, Buddhist, it really does not matter. So if there is a roadblock or some kind of obstacle that's blocking you from joining, because if you don't think you could join, I joined when I was 315 pounds. I played semi-pro football. Okay. My 2-mile time was less than stellar. At that time, for my age, I had to run 15 minutes and 54 seconds. Needless to say, 19 minutes and 32 seconds did not qualify. But if you want it bad enough, trust me, whether we're here to help or you have the power or will to help yourself, go out there and get it. And the last thing I have, unless you have any questions, do not let anybody tell you you can't do something. I don't care who they are. So long as it's not illegal or immoral or goes against any of your values that your family has instilled in you, the values that the 100 Black Men San Antonio chapter are about to instill in you if they haven't already, or anything positive that the faculty and staff here at St. Philip's has already taught you. Do not let anybody be that obstacle. And if they are an obstacle, use your hateration as motivation. I do it all the time, trust me. So, is there any questions whatsoever? If there isn't any, you see we have a table set up. Please do not let us walk out of here and leave the tablecloth, but everything else that's on top of it, we'll be standing over here, we'll be standing by. So if you have questions whatsoever, ask people who have previously served, come ask us, we're here to help. Thank you.
Mr. Ivory Freeman will be joining me on behalf of 100 Black Men, on behalf of St. Philip's College, and on behalf of Collegiate 100 to give Captain Jamal Murphy a token of our appreciation.
No, come on, I will not be your right dog, so.
Stay out of the light.
Plus, if you come order, you tell them to come on, they can come on.
Everybody come in. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much.
And for all of the students in the room, there will be a quiz. There's some good stuff, influencing people. There's a ceremony, I'm sorry, is introduce our inductees to you. First, I'd like to have Mr. Aaron McGee stand up. Mr. Judy Waller. Mr. Cheryl Johnson. Ms. Patrick Williams Stewart. And Beverly Ms. Cicely Jones. It's our spring 2017 class for student.
Good afternoon. My name is Ivory Freeman. I'm the president of the 100 Black Men in San Antonio. It's a proud honor when I have the opportunity to stand in front of a group of individuals, and say that. Because the reputation that the 100 has and the mission that we have is something that is of great honor. And after serving my country and having the opportunity to do it for my community, it brings me great pride. I'd like to ask my fellow members of the 100 to join me up here as we do the induction ceremony of the Collegiate chapter of the 100. We have the Executive Director, Mr. Milton Harris, who's here with us today, Mr. Warren Roseborough, and Mr. Ron Bright. We are all members and represent a small portion of the 100 Black Men of San Antonio. So what we're going to do right now is that we, the members of the San Antonio chapter of the 100 Black Men of America, are gathered here to confirm that these students are cut from the cloth of excellence and will do their part to uphold the mission and the goals of the 100 Black Men of America.
Mr. President, on behalf of the 100 Black Men of America, 100 Black Men of San Antonio, Incorporated, I recommend that we induct these members into the Collegiate 100 of St. Philip's College.
Brothers, is it your pleasure to accept these students into the ranks of the Collegiate 100? Yes, awesome. On behalf of the 100 Black Men of San Antonio and the 100 Black Men of America, we proudly and are formally recognize that we bring these individuals into the fold of the 100. Now, with this privilege also comes responsibility. That we have for each of us that we have to uphold. I would like to ask the inductees to please stand at this time. I will ask you a series of questions, and I would like you to answer with "I will." Will each of you strive for academic excellence? Will each of you strive to be a role model for young men and women on campus, in the communities for which each of you hail? Will each of you strive to be a mentor for the next generation and set the example that crime and drug is not the answer? Will you strive to be honest in what you do and endeavors in each of your daily activities?
Collegiates, please repeat after me. I accept the challenge and the responsibility that comes with being a part of the St. Philip's College Collegiate 100. I accept the challenge and the responsibility that comes with being a part of the St. Philip's College Collegiate 100. I pledge to uphold the mission and the goals of the 100 Black men of San Antonio and the Collegiate 100 at all times. As a member of the Collegiate 100, I will always conduct myself in a manner that will be positive and serve as a role model for all. The 100 Black men of America and its chapters, all across the great nation and abroad, welcome you. We want you to find a home within the 100. We want you to count on us, the members of the 100, and our leadership for guidance, mentoring, direction, and most importantly, the friendship of the brotherhood and sisterhood. I welcome you. Let's have a round of applause for all inductees.
At this time, we'd like for the current members of the Collegiate 100 chapter to please join us here in the front. And while they're coming up, what's next in store for these students who are joining the ranks is their motto in the Collegiate 100 is real students giving real time. And so immediately following our closing and right before refreshments, our new inductees will identify a partner within the current membership to sign up for their service. And so their service will begin today, and then we will, from that point forward, have them join the ranks of the Collegiate 100 in mentoring and making a difference. At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Adams come up. Jonathan Adams, he's one of our students. He was working. He's a spring inductee. Jonathan. As a matter of fact, we can have the inductees come up.
Well, that's it for our time here at St. Philip's College for the Collegiate 100 event. Real quickly, I just wanted to mention that St. Philip's College is one of the oldest universities here at in the east side of San Antonio. Actually, the community college is actually the oldest one here in the district. Two-time audited for being not only a historically black college, but a Hispanic serving institution. We want to thank the Collegiate 100 for inviting us down to come and be a part of their ceremony and event to induct their new inductees into their group. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you have an event going on with it, wherever it is you're at here in Texas, please put a comment in the comment description below, and we'll see you in the next video.